Hi, ladies. I've been married for 5 years and we have 2 young children. My career has taken off, but my husband recently lost his job in digital marketing. It was a senior position. It says potion, by the way, but senior position. After some discussion, we agreed that he would stay home with the kids whilst I work full time, at least temporarily. At first, things were going well, but now, 8 months in,
Yeah.
tensions are growing and we have stopped communication. I feel burdened as I am managing all the household finances, working long hours, and I resent my husband despite what I had agreed. I overheard him on the phone speaking to his mother, and he expressed that he feels emasculated and was less of a man. All I need from him is to step up, as in meal planning and prep, completing school forms, and all the other things I still manage despite carrying the financial load. It would be great if he could find work, but obviously that will come when it does. I'm curious to know what you guys think.
I love this one because I've been in the exact position. I'm thinking if it's once or twice because I've been I've been made redundant twice. Yeah. So I've been in this position. And from the experience, I would say things was getting a little bit techie after about 3 months. And I was bringing in money, but it was not what I was bringing in before. So I would say, as a man, like, and it was almost a thing. It was like, oh, don't worry. But in my head, I was worried. I was worried. Maximum, I would say, is 3 months. You gotta find your feet. You gotta find a job. You gotta find something to contribute. And if it was 80% you doing the work and 20% her bringing in a little part time and doing up the kid stuff and the family and the home, then you might have to just make that transition to that 50-50 that we're talking about, where you do a little bit more in the home, you start to learn how to cook, but you bring in a little less money for now, whatever. That's just what you have to do. But, like, I don't know. You got to find a job. Like, for the man them, you have to find a job. It doesn't matter what it is. You have to find something, because it's not just about the work. It's just like the purpose. It gives you that purpose in your head, because you really do start to feel emasculated 100%. And at least she knows that you're trying. Do you get me? Because there's man there that will sit and look for jobs. They won't find nothing because it's not the same wages. Brother, just find something. Just find something, because it shows her that you're actually trying to do something about it. Do you get me? And sometimes that hard graft coming. Listen, I've had to go from decent money, yeah, to doing like little warehouse jobs, minimum wage. Do you get me? But still, I'm coming back. She's like, "Oh, you're looking all right." You get me? I'm looking a little rough. I'm looking a little pumped. So there's aspects to it that benefit. Do you get me? So
Listen, even minimum wage pays enough. You do enough hours.
yeah, you can still earn good
You'll
bread.
be tired,
Yeah.
but you'll be working better, but it'll pay you a little. You'll get a change.
Because I work up north, so I was like, I tell all the young kids, you're 21. What you got to do? Work. You don't need no qualifications, no nothing. You get a minimum wage job that pays 12 quid an hour. You do 100 hours a week. That's still £1,200 a week. And you're 20 and living at home. What are you gonna do? Sit at home with your... Can I swear on it?
You got my son, 17, you look for a job and guy in sixth
No, but
form.
look,
Yeah.
you're 20 and you ain't got a job and you ain't working and you ain't in university or you ain't in college. What are you doing?
100%.
Sitting at home with your dick in your hand playing computer games.
Mm.
Work 80 hours a week and earn £1,000 a week.
Yeah.
In a warehouse or in Sainsbury's. Even minimum wage pays if you do 80 hours a week. You know what I mean? You do 100 hours a week, you're working 12, 13, 14 hours a day, you will take home £4,000 a month at 20.
Do
Who
something.
is earning that? And
Do
you don't need no
something.
qualifications and no skill. Just show up.
You know what? That's a
Show up and put a box
That is a
on
gem
that thing.
for young people that are watching. If any parents want to show their kids anything, show them just that clip.
Yeah.
Well, you don't even need skill.
It's so true and so real at the same time.
I'm telling you
You've
now,
got no
like,
outgoings. You live at home. Your mum cooks for you and washes your underwear for you.
Yeah.
Chill.
And also, and also as well, just for a disclaimer, don't do it for us.
No.
Yeah, my son, I didn't ask my son to get a job. We've just had a big debate on it. I know it's a big discourse right now on TikTok. I'm not asking him to work to help me pay bills and pay rent. No. The paying bills and contributing, that's principle and healthy habits. Yes. That's what I'm trying to make you build, yeah? It's not about you exploiting you out of your money. I'm trying to make you build a habit of learning to pay things. There are many adults that go into the world and they don't know what council tax is because they've never had to pay it.
Yeah, yeah.
You've contributed, but you don't actually know what a council tax bill looks like. Who are you paying the water to? You don't even know. People have died and their parents left the yard. There's bills coming, and you're saying, what's Southern water? And you're saying, bro, because Southern water and Thames water is different. Mine's is Southern. I don't know what yours
Mine
is.
was
Shows up
Southern
yours.
for a decade,
What's yours shows up your side?
Suffolk and Essex.
Suffolk.
No, it's not.
Suffolk.
No, it's not.
Where is it?
Do I need to bait it out?
No.
You don't
I know
want
that.
to.
That was Southern, though, I know them.
But is it something? I mean, that covers a huge area, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a different name.
You know what I mean?
You
But the
know?
point is, you got Southern and you got Thames in it. I'm assuming that Thames is all of London.
No, because I'm not that. I'm Suffolk and Essex.
Well, I know the north
That's
is
not mine.
definitely Thames.
Thames does a lot. of
North
London.
is
When you go
definitely
to
Thames.
Yeah, Thames does cover.
That's
Does
what I
cover a
know.
lot anyway.
Yeah, okay, but either way, a lot of people don't know about them kind of things. So you're not doing it for us, so we
don't
can
know how to
exploit
pay
you
the
for
bill.
money.
Not even
Yeah.
who you're paying.
Yeah.
How do you set up a
How?
direct debit? How do you set up a standing order? All them kind of
your
things.
200 quid you give your mum ain't paying for nothing. It ain't helping her. She's not doing it for your mum. You're
I-
doing it.
50,
with
yeah?
it-
I know a
No,
girl.
but do you know, like when the people are like, when you talk to these boys and like, oh yeah, but I pay my mum rent. How much you pay? Like £100 a month. Mate, that ain't covering electricity. That ain't covering
It's
your
just
food.
principle more than
That's
anything.
all it
isn't
is. So they have to
There is a
understand.
massive, well, there was, because this is going to come out a lot later. There was a massive conversation. I just totally disagree
With what?
with paying your parents, because that doesn't teach you anything. It teaches you about the principle of paying someone something,
Does it
or
not
paying
teach you how to
into it,
budget?
Well,
or paying into a system.
I agree.
But
with
it
them.
doesn't teach you all of the things we've mentioned, as in who those people are. It doesn't teach you about stocks, iShares, shares, crypto.
Yeah.
It doesn't teach you about investment strategies. It doesn't actually teach you
Financial
about budgeting.
literacy.
It
No.
doesn't teach you about any of those things.
It's
You're
not
literally,
supposed
but literally what you're doing is you're saying, hey, mum, here's 2 bills. Hey, mum, here's 2 bills, because your mum asked for
But
it.
you're gonna tell them what it's for.
No, not every parent does that.
but even if
not
you
every
did,
parent
it
does
doesn't
that.
mean
And
anything.
even if you did, you're saying, okay, mum, here's 2 bills. Your mum's gonna say, yeah, it's for the council tax. It's gonna, but it's all in your mum's name. It's not like the bill's in your name.
I hear that.
It's not like you have the responsibility of paying the bill. Now,
right.
if you put your child's phone bill in their name and say, look, you're
That's-
18
Yeah,
now.
I will do that 100%.
That's your phone bill. You've got to pay for that. It's your responsibility. And if they show you, they're not keeping up with the payments or whatever, then it will come out of my account to
Or let's
whatever.
change the direct
or let's
debit
change
so
the
it comes-
direct debit
comes
so
out
it
of
comes
your-
straight out of your
it's
account
done.
so you can see. That's very different.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
actually showing the child where the money's
Yeah.
going. But a lot of parents say, well, you turn 18 now, you're an adult now, you're earning this much grand a week or a month. You earn even, I've seen it in my comments, and my thing went a little bit viral, yeah, guys. I had a conversation about it. I didn't have to pay rent at my parents' house because there was no expectation.
I'm the same.
There we
Neither
go.
did I.
But
We're all the
It's-
same.
Yeah, I didn't
And
It's not about
Yeah.
rent. What it is especially with young men, when you're raising young men, you're just teaching them responsibility.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
And
That
I
your
get
money,
that principle.
you don't just keep your own money to yourself. You have other people to take care of.
Yeah.
And that's how you're going
Yeah.
to teach those young men to be men. And the men that everyone's saying is missing now. Where's all the men
Yeah.
gone?
Yeah.
It's 'cause they
So
don't
maybe
know
adding
that
a bit
out
of
there money that-
context, like you were saying, show
But you're right.
Mm.
It doesn't just teach you how to.
Yeah,
invest
you have to
money,
add, like
no.
you were saying, add the name as the direct debit.
But no one does
or-
that.
no one
Let's
does
just be
that though.
real.
And this
Yeah.
is my
They're
point.
not gonna.
And
Yeah,
bare
they're
people
not.
were
Yeah,
in
they're
my
not. Then
bare
they
people
gotta
were in my
rely on
comments
them.
just saying, my kids are this old. Yeah, they have somewhere to live. Like, do you know how much cost of living's gone up for me? Like, I'm a single mom, and this is how much I charge my kids. So I'm seeing it as you're seeing your kids as a
income.
profiting.
Yeah, and a source of
But
income.
that's different to what you were saying. You're not
That's
doing
different,
it to get
yeah.
money for you. You're teaching him that he needs to pay money, and
Yeah.
that's the difference from what you're saying. Is parents are just
My
taking their
parents
kids'
have
but
always
I've
taught
got
me
a-
that you take the money, but you put it away for them.
And
So
it's
it's
something
savings.
like
You
So
that,
don't-
I've
you
got a
don't
friend.
spend the money. You just take it from them.
I've got a
say
friend.
learn
I've
about
got a
them.
friend.
And I still don't agree with that.
Yeah, but
I'm saying-
but
I
what,
don't agree
because-
with that.
Why?
I don't agree with taking money from your child and putting it away for them. I don't agree with
They
that.
should do it themselves.
They need to learn how to save that
I
money
agree.
independently.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't.
I agree,
they,
but some
they don't know
people-
that you're saving it. They
No.
think that you're spending it.
Some people
Yeah.
are just never good with money, you know.
Yeah,
Right.
Like,
but
never.
you're gonna have to learn. Let's just say we're talking about adults here, right?
Mm.
You're talking about adult. You're taking from an 18-year-old. Let's say they get their first job. They're whatever. They may have not gone uni. Or they do go uni at 21. They get a decent paying job. They get paid like maybe $1,000 a month, 1,100, or even what you were saying. You're taking the money from them. You're just saying, okay, you need to give your mum money. I give my mum money. But that person might still be frivolous with the rest of their money. Now, when they get into the actual adult world of having to pay all of these bills that we pay for, having to pay the tax, having to pay all of this, what you've just shown them is you're just one little percentage of the grand scheme of it. They may still be frivolous with the money. I don't think it teaches them anything necessarily per se.
I think
that if you're a
think
frivolous
we
person,
heavily
you're
lack-
going to be frivolous. If you like
Yeah.
designer things, you like
But
designer
you can
things.
change habits, so.
Yeah, but I think
People
we
can,
heavily
but
lack.
a lot don't.
I think we heavily lack in like financial literacy, and I think that's all age groups. I think it's even like our
There's
parents,
loads of old people who ain't
us,
got a
Do you know-
clue.
and the children. I think someone needs to kind of really be.
I don't even think
Yourself, listen.
Yeah,
don't,
yeah,
you,
but-
don't you remember partner?
I don't even think it's that. You know,
These are things that are put in place to manage money.
I'll even add to another thing to say that people don't like me personally. One thing I speak to my friend, we don't like being uncomfortable. And that uncomfortability space that you have to sit in when you're budgeting, the financial literacy, it's a very
can I just-
uncomfortable space.
But then we're being told by our grandparents that we should be hiding money from people. So how are we meant to figure out things together?
It's all contradiction, isn't it?
How,
Yeah,
no,
I
but
get it.
how are we meant to figure things out together when we're being told to
Lying
hide
to-
money
we're lying
from
to each
We're
people?
concealing money.
I
Then you're lying to
so-
a child when you're saying you take it away and then actually you save them a bit of rack of cash. Why don't you say, son, actually, this is what I plan to do with your money. I'm putting this away for you. So when you pay me, it's actually going to a savings account. I don't touch it. I have no access to it. And it's for the furtherance of your life. That is transparency.
We're teaching
that
our
is
daughters to
financial
have
literacy.
their own place, and we're teaching our daughters to hide money and make sure the man gets a place for them.
This
and
is what I'm
teaching our
saying.
sons to
And
get
then
the place for the
with the
woman,
woman.
And
for
then
the woman that we're telling to get your own place and then hide it from your man. It's all mad. I don't
But
know.
this is what I'm trying to
And then
say.
we're
So
telling our
how
sons
how
don't
are we
trust
meant
these
to how are we
We're
meant
telling
to
our
In
sons
evolve?
turn, don't trust us either as your mum.
Man.
I don't know, guys.
I
It's
think
just
the
a long
finan-
day,
You know
innit?
what? It's too much. It's just
The financial
Too much
stuff's
hypocrisy,
techie.
man.
What you are saying is absolutely correct.
I
It's-
agree, and I
But
agree
just
with these
because
two.
you teach someone something doesn't mean they learn.
And that is facts.
You can only show them.
That's true.
But what you're saying is correct. You have to show them what to do with their money rather than you have to teach them about money. With my goddaughter, I taught her about shares when she was like 13, 14. She was interested. I said, start putting your money.
And
away
that's
when you earn
something
it."
like my parents weren't on the share stuff. I wish I knew about shares because I'm someone that would have taken that risk. I'm someone that would have put my £10 pocket money that I was making selling sweets and chocolates at school into shares. I would have done that. I would have done that. But I didn't have that knowledge and
they didn't know.
understanding.
And they didn't know.
Exactly.
didn't
So it
either.
has to come from somewhere.
but
And
it
we have to
also
start being a little
is-
bit more open about our finances.
It's
I think some
cultural,
people
okay.
hide their struggles with their children because they don't want their children to feel responsible. You know, some kids are like, oh, you know, they start selling whatever and say, to pay for their mum's rent and rare. Half the time it never goes there anyway. But like those kind of things, people want to kind of withdraw and withhold the actual reality of their situation. It's techie. But like when I lost my job, I was telling the kids, listen, can't really do that right now. You know, go-karting every once a month, can't really do that right now. So we got to figure out what else we can do because there's limits and there's budgets here. Do you get me?
Financial literacy is cultural as well.
100%.
Yeah.
We don't know.
And it's a weird culture one as well because I came from a home where my mum was very, very don't buy nothing. She'll cook outside. She'll grow things.
But that's calm.
If she can't pay
That's
for it
calm.
now, if she can't pay for it now,
But
she's
that's
not
good.
buying
That's
it.
clever.
I'm the complete opposite.
But where are your grandparents from?
Jamaica.
All yours Caribbean.
Caribbean.
Yeah.
Caribbean, one Indian, right? So they're all British Empire. It's that colonial thing. It was just work, be good. One day you can come here and have a house.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Save, buy a house, and you'll be happy, and then the state will look after you. And that's all they worried about. Get into debt for 30 years, get a mortgage, which is basically a loan. They just call it a different word. Just taking out a 30-year loan that you have to work to make sure you pay.
Yeah.
And they made them think renting is not good. It means you're lower class.
Yeah.
You know, our grandparents never wanted to rent.
Yeah.
When you tell them
Yeah.
to lease a car, they'd be like, I'm not going to lease a car. What would you
Even
say?"
now.
Yeah, my mum was.
Even now,
Leasing
my
a
parents
car,
are trying to
never
pay
buy a
off
car
their
again.
house. You know, that generation, they're all trying to pay off their house.
That was
they
their
think that
biggest.
they have to.
That's the happiest I ever saw my dad. My dad don't smile. You know, he's one of them old school, just work.
Yeah.
Shows his affection through, you got food on the table, love smile. Do you know what I mean? Lights are on. But like, the happiest I ever saw him the day he paid off his mortgage. I can't pay the mortgage. I'm like, all right, cool. It's lovely. We're still living here. It's still, it doesn't change. Even if you pay the mortgage, they can still take your house. I'll work with councils. They can take your house for compulsory building. The king still owns it. You just own the freehold. That still doesn't mean you own it.
Oh, God.
Do you know what I mean? But it's that colonial thing that we've got with ethnic minorities of just own it. And all these people are like, but it's my house, I own it. You don't own shit. Not if you've got a mortgage. If you think you own your house, don't pay your mortgage for 6 months. Let's see who owns your house. Let's see who owns it.
The bank or
And all
anyone.
this thing about having your car and owning a car, owning something that's worth half in 3 years of what you paid for it, because we got this thing about owning, because we come from colonialism.
Yeah.
It's mad. It's a deep conversation.
It is.
My parents were born funny enough, I was sending kicks about it the other day. My parents were born in Africa. Right? Both my parents.
Where?
Kenya.
East Africa. Yeah, because a lot of Indians there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They took the Indians over to build Africa.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened. Because the African didn't have a workforce there yet when the English went in. So they bought their jewel of their crown, right? They brought the Indians over who had already built India up. So they brought them over. My parents were born there. My grandparents moved there. My parents were born there. My parents are born with British passports. My parents have never had a passport other than British. They had no rights in India, no rights in Africa. They were born with British passports. I found them when my parents were born. I had to do something for some visa thing. I found my dad and my mum's passport, and it had the old black passports. You know the old black British ones before the red European
And then
ones?
back to the black ones now.
Back to the it's like a navy blue colour now. Isn't it? The
Yeah,
one-
black is
Oh, it's
black.
Is it black?
It's black,
I
yeah,
thought
yeah.
it was blue.
It's gone back to
No.
black.
I've
Black.
got that one. I didn't even know.
Yeah, it's gone back
I
to
thought it was
black.
blue. They had the old ones, and it had on there, the Great Britain and Her Majesty's Great Britain. And at the bottom, it had a little caveat. One of them said, protectorate of the British Empire, or subject to the British Empire, or protectorate of the colony of Kenya. So you're British, but just a
All of those little
at the
bits,
end, you're
just to let
British
you know.
enough, but just to let you know, you're
not
British
completely.
because of the loophole.
Madness.
But you're British enough, but not quite.
Can you imagine?
But they were
I didn't
born
know
with
that.
both my parents were born with British passports
That's crazy.
in Africa of Indian parentage. They've never had anything other than a British passport. So my mum is like proper bougie, innit? She goes, "No, I'm British." All the time. Do you know when she's talking about immigration? "No, I'm British." I said,
You're looking at her like,
Yeah.
okay. I'm looking at her, mum.
do you think they think that about you, Mum?
That's so funny.
You're going out in the second round. That's all it is. You're just going to go out in the second round. They might not take you out in the first round. You're still going out in the second. My mum's got that thing. But that was a thing. If you worked for the British, if you were Indians and you worked for the British, it was almost like you felt you were one up than the others because they took the best workforce. So like my grandfather's dressed in suits every day. Even when they went to work in a factory, you've got pictures of them wearing those big like rubber aprons, like in the sawmills and stuff, but they got a shirt and tie on underneath and trousers underneath. That's how they worked for them. It was a thing of pride to work for the British, but because of that, you're indoctrinated.
Yeah.
So people like my parents, as long as a middle-class white man in a suit tells them to do something, that person must be right. So if a bank manager, that's why a lot of Indian older people get not swindled by banks, I don't want to like incriminate myself, but they make bad investments. Because they just trust the bank manager because he must be right. Because any older white person in a suit has been indoctrinated that they're in charge. They're the bosses. They know what they're talking about. Because that's all they've ever had.
You trust
From
it. You
childhood.
trust.
You see what I mean? It becomes the thing.
Because it's filtered down into us.
Generational.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
generational.
Small. Like we try to be a little bit rebellious,
Yeah.
but for the most part, we conform.
And we don't do things that are thought of as not a job. Like we were talking about it, like we haven't seen Indian footballers.
Yeah,
For real, yeah.
There's always been the talent.
Yeah.
That talent has always been there. I was terrible at sports growing up, but like I used to play like in the park, whatever. When you're teenagers, there were some real ballers. There were some real
That's
ballers.
our side, where we're the athleticism.
Yeah, but we had ballers. But culturally, you ain't going to your mum and saying, "I don't want to go to university.
Yeah, we spoke about this.
I want to
actually,
play
yeah.
football." How do you think that went down in the 1990s? When you're
Not
the
at
first
all.
generation born here, that they came over here for you to get an
No, you
education.
better get an education.
Yeah, so all of these ballers ended up being opticians and whatever.
Yeah,
But they were
Don't run them where
ballers.
good
Because they're
optician.
doing
Yeah,
well.
but
I
they
think
were-
they're probably doing better than the ballers that were.
maybe. But what I'm saying is it wouldn't have even been encouraged. But the thing is,
Okay.
that generation now, when they have kids, their kids are now at the academies.
Yeah.
Because they were like, I'm not going to have that for my kids. So you're
They
going
are.
to see the Indians coming through in the next 10, 15 years. Because now it's my generation having kids
Yeah.
that we weren't allowed to.
Yeah.
So now you're going to see it. Because the talent has always been there.
Yeah.
It's always, especially in this country, because they're British. At the end
Yeah.
of the day, it's not
exactly.
like
And
they're in
it's
India.
part of
They're
the culture,
British.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Football.
They just wasn't allowed. So a lot of it is cultural as well with this thing about money and saving and stuff like that. It's a much deeper conversation.
We've digressed, yeah.
Do you want
But
to go into it first?
back to the dilemma. Back to the dilemma.
There's a
So
question
what
off of
what
that.
are we giving as advice?
I think, Kix, you kind of put it into perspective. I mean, I've never been in that situation before where I've had to hold the fort while my partner's not had the income to do it.
There's She's asking him just to be a better wife. She's
No, no, it
asking
is.
the
I think
food
you know what
prep
it is.
for
I
him
think
and
as well.
stuff
I
like that.
think I think the bit that
You
kind
got to
of.
do what you
She
can
just
do,
wants him to
innit?
be a better
But
wife.
the thing that stood out for
Better
me was I
better
think
husband.
No,
Better wife.
wife.
Yeah.
Why are you better wife?
Because
She's there
she
going,
wants
let me
him
go out
to-
and earn money. Just make sure my food's prepped.
But
make
she
sure
don't
the
know. But
clothes are
she,
clean. She
it
just
don't
wants him
even.
to be
It
a
sounds
better
like she
wife.
don't even want to do the money thing.
she don't want to do the man. She has to
But
right
she
now.
has to do the
She
money
has
thing.
to do the
But she
money
has to do
thing.
the money thing
But she
because he's
can't
not
do
bringing in
everything
no
else.
money.
Yeah, but they agreed.
So he just needs to
Yeah,
get
but
a
hang on.
job, and that's what I'm saying.
But they
Him getting
agreed
a
he'd
job.
stay at home. She
didn't agree. She just said yes.
No, the
Listen,
first
but
line.
as I
It wasn't
said,
agree. She was
listen
going
to-
like this. Yeah.
bro,
listen
yeah.
to the first line.
That's
She
what
went,
I'm saying.
yeah.
Don't trust what they're saying.
Yeah.
Listen, when they say yeah, it means you've got
I
3
agree.
months to
Yeah.
sort your
No,
shit
no,
out,
100%.
and that's what it is.
I agree,
Push.
but listen to the first line of that. Listen to the first line
Yeah,
of
but
what
you
she
can't
said.
hear you can't listen to what
no.
they're saying.
She won't
As
talk
a
about
man,
husband.
you can't listen to what your
Show
wife's
us how
saying
long
when
was
she's
you
talking
doing?
about that.
I
She
just
weren't
said
talking
6
about-
out of push. 6 out of push.
6 months,
no.
yeah. You give your partner.
Yeah, 6 out of push.
Read
You
that
better-
first bit
you-
again. She's saying, I'm doing well in my job. I started taking on more work. Then my husband went. She don't want to give up her job. She's a career woman. Read the first bit of that.
She says she's been married for 5 years.
Listen.
They have 2 young children. My career has taken off.
Taken off.
Yeah,
My
but-
career has taken
Yeah,
off.
her career
She don't
has
want
So
to
she
sit at
don't
home
wanna-
and be a wife.
so she
My
wants that
career has
50-50s.
taken off.
Yeah,
She
so
wants that.
50-50.
She wants that
Yeah.
50-50.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
But
what
it's not
she's
like she
asking
wants to
for.
sit at home and not do the money thing. She wants to
wants
do
to
it, but
do
she
her
wants to
money
keep.
thing.
You know what she wants to do? Keep her money to herself and not to her
But
husband.
do you know
unless
what I
she
wanted?
earns
I
it.
just wanted to quickly bring it
That's
back
what it
to.
is.
I just wanted to quickly bring it back to what you was talking about learning, yeah, and people not knowing stuff. This is my whole thing. Obviously, us autopilot as mothers, we know about school holidays, meal prepping.
Yeah.
We just know that categorically. It's annoying for us and jarring because we don't feel like we should have to teach you lot them things because no one didn't teach. We just pick up on it. But unfortunately, ladies, we have to sit down with our man and we have to sit. Chat GBTs. We can use that now. Put in what you got in your fridge. It will show you what meal you can make. So now we don't have to do so much. But ultimately, you might have to show him, this is how you book Breakfast Club. This is where the pickups are, the drop-ups are. You might have to list those things and give it to him just once. Give him the stuff he needs to do and then leave it with him from that. But it's just the fact of, why do I need to show you this?
But why are they even having the conversation of you stay at home, I'll carry on working? Why didn't he say I lost my job? Don't worry, I'm getting a new one next
That's what
week.
I'm
Don't
saying.
worry."
I don't know.
In terms
But
of practicalities, though, let's look at the
because
job
she's-
market.
Go work in a
Practicalities.
But that's what I'm saying. It don't matter. You
Go work in
can
a
you can
warehouse.
sign up to
Drive a
an
Uber.
agency and you can get a job within a week.
He's
I'm
saying
telling
get
you.
anything.
I'm
He
telling
said,
you.
okay, so you're saying just
So
get
as
anything.
a man,
Yeah.
he
Get
got
a car,
too
drive a
comfortable.
Uber.
He got
Okay.
way too comfortable.
You
He
Don't
never said
hear
go
what
back
she's
and get your
saying.
6-figure. He said
You're
just
saying
get
just get
something.
anything
job.
to tide you over
Yeah.
until.
Most people are not willing to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
They're not willing to do that.
Imagine
They're
going
at a
from
certain
90K.
level. They're not going down.
Yeah.
They're not willing to, but sometimes you got to.
As a man,
Sometimes
you
you
can't
go
get out of the job.
down, the next job could be twice as much you was earning last year.
You just got to stay
You-
busy. You just got to stay busy.
You just got to do
I
it,
hear
You
man.
don't use it, you lose it. It's
And
like
I
athletics,
can
you
say
gotta
it
use
from
even if you're
experience.
injured.
I have done more than the mad. I've done the maddest jobs.
I've done every bad
Kept
job.
it legal as well, so there's no excuses for anyone.
Boy,
can't
I
lie.
see. One,
tell the young
one
kids.
question. One question.
What's the question, girlie?
One question. Okay. Actually, maybe two.
Which one's you gonna pick?
Can we separate masculinity and financial contributions?
What do you mean? Can we?
Annoying.
I don't say anything.
Go
Can
on.
we separate masculinity and it being basically adjoined to or akin to finances?
Depends what you describe as masculinity. Depends what you describe as masculinity, right? People have a different idea of what masculinity is. Most women don't know what masculinity is.
Most women.
No. They've got a clue. All the men that you think are masculine, they're just macho. They're not masculine.
I agree.
They're
I
just
agree.
macho. And they're
What
hiding.
is
a lot.
masculine then?
I'm gonna go ChatGPT because
Please, baby. Please,
Macho and
man.
masculine. Macho is the total opposite. They see the guys that are big tattoos and got manly.
Oh
Listen,
no, I don't think that's
no,
masculine.
not all. But you know these young girls like I want a manly man, but they're looking at men that look manly or they have super fit. I've done every manly job that you could think of. I've worked in construction, in the combat sports, the fight game, couriers, van drivers.
And
They
we
are
always
the
say,
biggest
we
bunch
always
of
say
queens
that.
you will ever meet in your life.
We always say that, man.
They
Is
are
it
the
long?
biggest
And
bunch.
and
Biggest bunch of girls you'll ever meet. The,
The-
most
the-
gossipy, bitchy girls.
can't
Bunch
hold.
of cage fighters
can't
get them in a
hold
place
their-
together and watch how they talk about each other.
They can't. They
and
have.
this guy said he'd come to train, but they didn't come to our gym, and then it's really upset me. And
What does it
yeah,
say? What's the
They
definition
got
of
no.
like So it says, according to Chat GPT, masculine generally refers to qualities, traits, or characteristics that are traditionally, culturally, or biologically associated with men or male organisms.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not biological. It's cultural. So it depends on what culture you're raised in. In some cultures, men do not clean, do not cook. I know a guy. He's probably 50 now. He got married when he was 23 to a girl, really nice girl. I remember him saying at the time, if I'm in a house, I do not cook. When I come home, I want my food on the table and I want my wife in my bed waiting for me.
Oh.
But in fairness, he's a gorilla. He's a total Neanderthal. But he got a wife that was okay with that because he hasn't got the intelligence to finesse a girl. So he's going to be totally honest about it. So the girl who chooses to be with him knows what he's like. Because he can't finesse a girl into doing that.
Yeah.
He couldn't chat her into doing it. He's just too much of a Neanderthal. But he said, this is what I want. And he got himself a woman who was cool with that.
I prefer that though. At least I ain't got a finesse, but he just said, yeah, this is what I need. And she said, all right, bet.
Yeah, but that means you ain't got no independence. You ain't got your own then. You're not working.
He ain't working.
No,
the woman.
As much as you're saying, get
the woman.
but half an hour
So
ago,
she
you're
has to
saying, make
accept
sure you
it.
get your own. Make sure you.
No,
work.
I'm saying about him being direct with what he wanted.
100%,
But not
100%.
me.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He was direct, and he got a girl that did it.
100%. Yeah.
That's his version of masculinity because that's how he's been raised.
Gosh, so what's
But
our
that's a
versions
different
then?
culture. It's
Yeah.
different
What
cultures,
is your versions? What are your versions of masculinity?
Yeah, what do you want from a man?
What? Yeah.
What's a masculine man to you?
What are the characteristics that you would put against masculinity?
Someone that doesn't pay someone to do DIY is number one.
Cool. That's me out.
So can do it. Can do it.
Honestly,
That's
but then
me out.
it's what I've been brought up
Yeah.
with.
Handy. Be a man.
Yeah.
Be manly.
My
and be
dad,
handy.
I would say, can do nearly anything
Everything.
and
My dad's the
everything
same.
in the house. Yeah. If my man can't do at least 80% to 90% of what my dad can do, I'm looking at you a little bit sideways.
I get that.
Because why can't you do that?
That's your example.
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
That's what you've learned of what a man
And
is.
that's what I find as a manly man, you should be able to do those
That must be
things.
quite difficult nowadays. I can't lie.
Yeah or no?
So
Okay.
you need a man who's handy, who's good, who can fix a flat tire, who can, if the thing
Yeah.
goes, put shelves up,
Yeah.
fix your kitchen. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's quite a masculine trait to have.
And I
though.
need that. Like if you don't have that, then I for me that's like a red flag, I suppose. I wouldn't be interested.
Okay.
That's cool.
It makes me a little bit vommy that you can't do it.
No, I hear that.
I'm being honest.
What about you guys? Then?
That's just one thing that I could mention.
That's valid though.
I hear it,
Yeah,
but
it's a valid preference. It's a very.
But a
valid
lot of
preference.
guys are not handy these days.
I know,
Yeah,
and they need to
but
go.
then- but
They need to
then-
do classes. They need to
A
go
lot
to
of guys
classes.
are not
They need to
handy.
learn.
I can't narrow it down. There's a few different things.
Just
for
pick
me.
one.
What's like one or
What
one of
about
the
traits
ones
for
that
him?
stand
What
out?
about a trait? Forget about like he can do stuff. As if
It's-
you're angry or
It's
you're
important for me that no matter what emotion you are feeling, you are kind.
Okay.
That's extremely important for me that you are kind.
No, but is that what you
That's not a
view
masculine,
masculinity
no.
as?
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
I
it-
think
yeah,
that's fair.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that's fair.
I need-
Controlling your
Control.
the way
yeah,
how you
self-control,
manage,
I think is
how
high.
you-
Control over
I-
emotions, because nothing's worse than a guy almost overreacting more than what you would, because then I'm like, you're acting like a woman.
yeah, like
But
I
that's
just,
a
I
lot
hear
of
that.
guys
I hear
now.
that.
That's a
yeah,
lot of guys
but
now.
I just
I
need
know,
you to.
but
Because
it's,
they're
I hear
raised
that.
by women and that's how they
it's
learn.
I hear that.
But it's actually vomit.
But the reason why
Yeah, I
I
hear
but I
that.
had to specify kind because I think that a lot of people, like you were saying earlier, shows, people are not nice.
They're not.
Like your actual core being, you're not a nice person.
Thank you.
Like your general when you strip away, you're actually
Okay.
not nice.
So you don't just mean like when it's heated, you mean in general.
I mean,
like across the
listen,
board,
but
any
it's-
I'm
situation,
saying you
day
could-
to day.
I'm saying it. It's different if I'm saying a guy's come up to you and done a madness, but you see it in the way for me. If a guy's come up to you and disrespected you, and I'm in the vicinity, or there's women there or children there, you see the way that you would need to deal with that situation in the moment. It's going to be so calm. It's a thing of where the guy would have to hit you, and in the moment you're not gonna, because you know why? Because you're gonna go, just give me 1 second. You're gonna move me, and any other female in proximity of that, and then you're gonna beat the hell out of him. But in the moment while you're there, like, those is so important. That kindness, that awareness is.
I hear
It's
that.
like
I hear
top
that.
level. I can't even. You can be mad angry, but in the moment you've
Because-
just gone.
Because what you're actually going into as well is protection. You're going
Safety,
you're going into a lot of things there.
And
So I
men
understand.
that can't control their emotions are dangerous.
Dangerous,
Oh, of
man.
course.
Yeah.
Men that can't control emotions.
And it's
You're
not
protecting
easy,
me,
you know.
But you were
It's not easy in this world
little
sometimes.
traits in that man from the get go, though.
Yeah,
before you
yeah,
even get to the
100%.
situation.
you know when you'll see
100%.
when he doesn't get what he wants. That's
Yeah.
how I see it.
See, I was just gonna say something totally different.
Even
I was
before
gonna-
that,
I was gonna
actually.
say stuff like, if he practices chivalry. So, for example, an old lady, you're in a shop, an old lady needs to get through the door, and he gets up straight away and opens that door.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
says
know,
that
no,
says certain things.
Honestly, and he does it without a bat on
It
an
does,
eyelid.
but there's some
They
guys that can do
pretend
that,
that
but they're
can do
still.
Yeah,
And they'll
yeah.
still beat their wife.
They're not
Genuine
mature.
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
people.
100%.
They'll
But then, but
they'll
we're
do
talking
that
about
and still
nice
beat
people,
their
and that
wife.
is-
Yeah, but
That's
you
a
get a
level of
lot.
kindness,
You get a
though.
lot of those macho gangster types that will open a door. Right,
100%.
Because
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
people
yeah, but
behave
it
in
doesn't
certain
mean
ways in social settings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
For
But they're tells. But they're
the
tells.
There's
aesthetics.
telltale
Yeah, but
signs.
just say there wasn't
It's
anyone
called
watching.
masking.
Yeah, it's called
Yeah,
masking.
there we go.
But-
There we
And
go.
mirroring.
And mirroring, yes. But just say, but I'm saying that over a period of time, no one's watching. It's
notice
not
it.
done in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
scenes. It's not done for anyone. No one would necessarily see it. You could have seen it from a distance. No
Yeah.
one's watching, but
You
you're
notice
seeing
over
it.
time.
And do you know what?
Yeah.
It's over what Leisha's saying as well. Is things like, for instance, in general, I will get quite heightened. So even in the way that, so for instance, a small thing will be like, if we're communicating and I start to get up here, now the first initially he's gonna be like, babe,
But let me.
like I'm gonna probably go off it and feel like you're patronizing me at first, but actually it's not. That's not what you're
But
doing.
there is one thing about that though.
don't even
There's
need
one
words.
thing about that though. I feel with guys that are like that, women do take advantage sometimes, and they will go knowing that guy will never go higher than this. Do you get
Depends
me?
on who she's
And
got.
that is a bit of taking
Kind of
advantage.
weak.
And I guess
Taking
that's,
advantage a
I
little
think
bit.
that's unfortunate for a guy that you've been paired with a woman that is. It's unfortunate that you've been paired with a woman that's
Sorry.
behaving like that. Leash.
Like and subscribe.
That's behaving right now. That's been paired with someone like that. But I'm saying in general, the kindness for me is a big thing.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, like that's just
Those kind of guys, though, you will, even the most combative woman, and I'm speaking from experience, even the most combative woman
Right.
will turn into jelly around guys like that.
right. Because you
'Cause
can't
that
do anything.
energy-
You're shouting, he's just
But not the ones that are just calm and just sit back and let you talk. Not the doormats. We're not talking about the
no.
doormats. Just the stronger but calm.
Yes, the ones that allow you
Men.
to be as big as you want in that space, and they allow you to have that. And when they've allowed you, they go, okay,
And how many examples of that have you had in your life?
0.
But would you agree there's loads of men like that in the world?
No.
Would you
I-
think
what
maybe
I would
that
say-
you're just
Sorry, pause. Subscribe.
you're saying there's not a lot of people like that in your life, but you attract what you project.
Amen.
But again,
I
as
know
a
loads-
man,
I know loads
as a
of guys
man,
like that.
I don't want that.
You don't
I don't want that. I don't want all of that hype. So yeah, cool. You can have all of that hype in that room today. Tomorrow, I'm second guessing if I want to be in that room ever again.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
don't think she's
So-
talking about hype as in against you. You're just maybe you're having a moment and you're stressing about something. Not
Okay,
at you,
okay,
just
okay,
she's having
okay,
a moment.
Not at you. I'm just having a. I'm having a tizzy.
Okay.
Yeah,
You've
yeah,
mixed
that's
the
different.
fucking darks and the
It's
white.
different. I agree with
told
you.
ya.
Yeah.
Because
Because
she's
it is.
having a go at you all the time. I'm not having
Unattractive.
it. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
doing
Oh, you've
that.
not cleaned the toilet.
Yeah.
The toilet brush.
Depends what he's doing. Depends what you're doing though.
Yeah.
If my man's working 15 hours a day and giving you all the money, and you are at home and you don't have to work, don't have a go at him for leaving the toilet.
I can't do that anymore. No, I still have to have a go at you because you knew when I met you. Just like don't sit on my bed if you're outside clothes. I'll lose
I
my
get
shit
that.
for that.
Yeah. But you're talking about some mad stuff, like. The outside clothes thing is big. That is serious. Some
Man,
people
them
don't
do it.
understand.
I
Some
had-
people don't
listen,
understand. I'm like,
Joe,
how
get in
do
the-
you
and
not
get in the bed.
understand?
I had to
Get
get
in the
a
bed.
chair in the bedroom because my ex-partner used to. I had to get a chair, a designated chair.
But that's what you do.
Ash's veins
No,
are
you
coming
gotta
out
say,
from
listen,
the side.
At least you like it. That gets me so mad.
Yeah.
Sure, what about you? It's a pet peeve for me, bro. But go on,
Yeah,
what's
you
your
gotta say what you want.
masculine trait, girl?
Do you know what?
Go on, girl. Leave at bedtime.
I have had bedtime and I've been going back and forth with myself. Like, do I want to say financial? But it's not because it's not because I want your money. I want a guy to be able to, not I want a guy, but what I would see as my ideal masculine trait would be that a man is happy to part ways with his money and there's actually no obligation.
That's generosity.
On
and
so
kindness.
generosity, whatever you want to call
Yeah,
it,
same
but
what I'm
just
saying.
being able to part ways and there's absolutely no strings attached.
Yes, that's
There's
kindness,
no
generosity.
I owe you. There's no hidden expectations. There's no little small print at the bottom. There's none of that. Just like, I've done this for you because I've done it for you. Because I love you.
Even when it gets...
And it does. But I just think men are really attached to money, and because of how things are,
I think we're judged highly on it. That's why.
100%, and that's why that question came up, isn't it?
Fault, though.
No, but do you know what you've just
It's your
said?
fault.
It's perfect.
It's your fault.
It's a
Yeah.
really great thing, but it's not generosity.
What is it called
It's
then?
not love.
It
It's
is.
called commitment. That's how men commit to you.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'll be honest with you.
What, the money?
I'll be honest with you.
No,
Come
no.
on, girl.
It's
Yes,
men
girl.
do-
Men
100%,
don't
I agree.
commit with like faithfulness and that
Yeah,
the same
I'm
way
that
women. Men
terrible.
commit with provision.
Yeah.
When I'm giving you what I've earned,
Yeah.
that means I'm committed to you.
Yeah.
Look, man, yeah. And I hated that.
That's commitment. It's not generosity. That's commitment.
It's you lot's fault. The money
And that's
thing.
why marriage is so important. When I say to
don't
them that
think
when
so.
a man says to you, "I'll marry you," because that way I am locked in that you will get my stuff if we break.
Tea.
That is commitment. So when those guys are like, "Well, this guy left me, and this guy, we were together." Why? Because you lived in the same house and you shagged. That's not commitment for a man.
It's true still.
But
It's
that's
true.
not commitment for a man. But you guys don't
Fair
want to hear
enough.
stuff like that.
No.
But guys, that's not how
And
we
that's
commit.
nail on the head.
Yeah.
We
Don't want
Wanna
to
hear
hear
it.
You don't want to
We
hear
don't,
that.
we don't. But we don't get twisted. We have the conversations with our girls.
Yeah, but you
Behind
don't have it with the
closed
men.
doors.
You don't have it with
We
the
do
men.
have the conversations.
That's the problem. If
And
you
I
have
have
friends, you
friends.
have conversations with your girls, and your girls will reaffirm the same
Yeah.
bullshit you have
Yeah,
in your
yeah,
head.
yeah.
And they're not going to
Yeah,
give you the dose of realism that you need to have. They perpetuate the stupidness
We all
that
know
you're telling
that.
yourself in your head.
When we put
Yeah?
a thing on, we put a clip on one saying men don't leave. And if a man
Yeah,
leaves
yeah.
you, he must think you're a bad wife. That's it. That's the only time men leave. That's not to say if he stays, he's going to treat you well. That's not what we're saying. He could cheat, he could do whatever, but he's not going to leave someone who's a good wife and a good mother. He won't.
So how would you feel about my only issue with the marriage thing now is that me owning my own house, my issue is you
Prenup.
can't have well,
But then you're
Done.
not committing.
Done.
Then I'm not committing.
I'm not going to lie.
No, but-
I'm not putting my house on a prenup.
No, you.
Sorry,
Why
you're
not?
not
Do
If I
it.
get married, I'm not going to do that.
What,
No,
sorry,
but
what
if
does
my
that mean?
house is
You're
for
not,
my children.
When you say your prenup, as in the prenup would mean
My house is for
that
my
you
kids.
get it if you split. You
100%
wouldn't do
agree
that?
with
I
that.
wouldn't do
I
that.
hear
So
that.
what would you do? You're just going to say we split everything equally
hear
in your
that.
Yeah,
house?
because once I'm committing myself into a
that's
marriage,
how
I'm
I
committing
feel
my
about
whole
it.
self
That's how my
into
kids
a
Our
marriage.
grandmothers never had prenups. They were married 70 years.
my mum also
We
never
got
had
this
no house
thing.
of
If
their
you're
own.
already going, yeah, but if it don't work out, make sure I get this.
Yeah,
back.
it's
You're
not
already
good.
going
It's
in
not a
there
good look.
negative.
It's
Right,
not a
I
good look.
just
And then you're
Isn't
not
it?
getting the commitment.
It's not a good look, but personally, I don't mind. Look, you had what you had before. The plan is to give it to the kids, whatever. I've got my bit, you've got your bit.
And then we have something
Let's have something together.
That's what I'm cool with.
But if things don't work, we've made an agreement that this goes to this way, that goes to that way. I don't.
Yeah.
I have no.
But
I have no argument with that.
That is true, but a lot of those people don't have long marriages and don't have happy marriages. How many people do you know that are like that, have been in a happy marriage?
I don't know.
Think of everyone that you know that's been
Exactly,
married 50,
this is
60
what I'm saying,
years
they
and
don't
death
do
do them
that.
part. How many of them had a
But
prenup?
people are
How many
scared
people
these
like that?
days. People are
It's a
scared.
modern
It's
day new
understandable.
thing.
Yeah, prenup is a
Blood,
thing.
sweat, and
It's a proper
tears, and then you
modern
lose
thing,
it all.
though.
It's
People have
techie.
forgotten about marriage and why they do it.
The sanctity of
But
it
the
all.
only way you're going to get that commitment from a man is if he does that to you. That's it.
Does what to you?
finances.
Marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that got you excited. Yeah, marriage. That's
that's-
what.
The finances
marriage.
will come happily
Yeah.
because it will make the man feel good. He
That-
gives
but
his
that's
wife
his-
money. He buying her
Yes.
this. But it feels
what women
good.
don't realise is that's our
It
love
feels
language.
good.
We want to give our woman stuff.
It feels
so
so
if we're
good.
not giving you stuff,
It
yeah, but that
feels
means
so
you're
good.
committed to you.
yourself.
Do they really?
It
if you're
feels so
committed-
Down
good.
in the bottom of their heart.
That's what we live for.
110%.
That's what we
Okay.
live for.
They
That's
do
why I
say
say
whatever we do for you is for you and the
That's
children
why I
and
say-
the this and the that.
Well,
That's
this
why
is why some men they go out working so
Is
much,
it?
yeah, and but they do it for the family.
the
They
thing
want to
is,
give the
men-
family
This is what we say:
everything.
men are less selfish than women. in
Well,
relationships.
cheating.
That's a different thing. altogether.
Oh,
That's a
that
different
bomb
thing
now.
altogether.
Drop that bomb now, you. She's dropping
But
that
you
bomb
know-
I
now.
know we can't even
We
go
can't,
into
we
it.
can't.
That's
It's
what
gonna
I'm
be a part
saying.
two.
She's done it on
Guys.
purpose. Part 2 in that.
Part 2. This will be a part 2. 100%. 100%. Where you guys based in terms of
I'm
recording?
up north, you know.
Where? Up north.
Up north.
Bruh,
Luton
we're in
and Dunstable.
countryside,
Going
love.
down to countryside. No.
We're in
Where?
sticks.
I live in the poorest area, in the poorest council estate, in the
Stop
poorest
it.
area in London.
Why?
London.
Up north.
North.
Not London.
Because you're
Not London. You
Not
said you
North
live up
London.
north.
North.
up
Up
north.
north, yeah.
Like
North,
Preston or something.
Where they have all them, where they have all those
Sorry.
riots for the people in the hotels and all the when people
I
get.
don't even know
Where's
No,
that?
'cause that was in
Google it.
Epping and the other place.
No,
He's
up
saying
north.
up
Not
north.
Epping.
I know.
as
I
in-
know. There was in Epping
I'll
as
tell you
well.
about it.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Off
But I'm
camera.
from South anyway.
Yeah, I
Okay,
knew you
cool,
was.
Yeah.
You knew anyway.
Yeah.
You
know
both
it.
knew.
Me know same like
You
black
read
woman
South.
from time.
You
coming
read
up
South.
now.
But didn't cover.
Probably not now, but back in the day. Anyway, guys, you know what to do.
This girl. Where can we find you guys? Plug yourself, please.
Noble Savage. All
Yeah.
socials. All socials.
TikTok, Instagram, active.
Very
Yeah, man.
active.
Very active. Sending us DMs. But anyway. Guys, we are Mama Drama Podcast.
And you know what time it is? Peace.
Like and subscribe.
Thank you.